In the shadows of history, one pursuit captivated the minds of some of the greatest philosophers, kings, and scholars, an ancient art that promised the power to transform the world itself. Alchemy. The pursuit of turning base metals into gold, unlocking immortality, and understanding the very soul of the universe. But how did alchemy rise from the shadows of mystery to the foundations of modern science? The story of alchemy begins in ancient Egypt. Around 300 BCE, the land of the pharaohs became a crucible for the birth of alchemical thought. Here, in the shadow of the Great Pyramids, Egyptian priests combined early chemical experimentation with deep mystical beliefs. They sought not only to transform substances, but to unlock divine secrets hidden within the natural world. One of the most enduring symbols of this ancient tradition is the philosopher's stone. This legendary substance was believed to have the power to turn lead into gold and, more tantalizingly, grant immortality to its possessor. But for the Egyptians, alchemy wasn't just about material wealth. It was a spiritual pursuit. To transmute matter was to transcend the limitations of the human soul. As the centuries passed, the ancient wisdom of Egypt traveled westward, influencing Greek and Roman thinkers. This is where the philosophy of alchemy truly began to take shape. Greek philosophers like Empedocles and Democritus theorized about the fundamental elements of the universe: earth, air, fire, and water. They believed that all matter was composed of these elements, and that it was possible to manipulate them through knowledge and understanding. But it was the mythical figure Hermes Trismegistus who would become the spiritual father of alchemy. A blend of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth, Hermes was said to possess the wisdom of both cultures. His writings, known as the Hermetic Corpus, were filled with mystical and philosophical teachings that laid the foundation for alchemical practices. To alchemists, Hermes was not just a god. He was a guide on the journey of spiritual and material transformation. For centuries, alchemists would come to view themselves as followers of Hermes, seeking to unlock the secrets of the universe through the processes of transmutation and purification. In the 8th and 9th centuries, alchemy reached its peak in the Islamic world during the Golden Age of Islam. It was here that alchemical knowledge was expanded, refined, and systematically documented. One of the most important figures in this tradition was Jabir ibn Hayyan, a polymath who wrote over 100 books on alchemy, chemistry, and medicine. His works would go on to influence alchemists in both the East and the West. Jabir is often credited with pioneering laboratory techniques still used today, such as distillation, crystallization, and sublimation. His emphasis on empirical experimentation would lay the groundwork for modern chemistry. But Jabir was not alone. Figures like Al-Razi and Al-Biruni also contributed to the alchemical tradition, blending practical science with spiritual philosophies, and furthering the idea that alchemy was a path to enlightenment, not just gold. By the 12th century, the secrets of alchemy found their way to Europe, carried across the Mediterranean by Islamic scholars. In medieval Europe, alchemy was embraced not only by scholars but also by royalty, mystics, and occultists. Alchemy became a mysterious, sacred art that sought to unlock divine secrets hidden in the natural world. Scholars like Roger Bacon, a Franciscan friar, delved into the mysteries of alchemical transformation, experimenting with the transmutation of metals and attempting to uncover the secrets of nature. His work, along with that of other medieval alchemists such as Ramon Lull, combined the pursuit of gold with the search for spiritual enlightenment. The Renaissance brought a new era for alchemy, one where art, science, and mysticism intertwined. During this time, one of the most intriguing and mysterious alchemists in history emerged, the Count of Saint Germain. The Count of Saint Germain, a man of enigmatic origins, was a frequent guest at the courts of 18th century Europe. Known for his incredible knowledge of alchemy, music, and languages, he was rumored to have lived for centuries, never aging. Though his true identity remains a mystery to this day, Saint-Germain's alchemical pursuits centered on the idea of immortality and the transformation of both body and spirit. Some believed he had discovered the secret to immortality through alchemy, while others considered him an illusionist, a master of deception. Regardless, his presence in royal courts and his rumored connections to alchemical knowledge cemented his place as one of history's most captivating figures. Another key figure of the Renaissance was Paracelsus, a Swiss physician and alchemist who challenged the traditional medical knowledge of his time. He saw alchemy not just as a way to make gold, but as a means to heal the human body. By applying alchemical processes to medicine, Paracelsus created a new approach to health, focusing on the use of minerals and chemicals for medicinal purposes. By the 17th and 18th centuries, alchemy began to fade as a recognized discipline. The rise of the scientific method and a shift towards empirical evidence led to the decline of alchemical practices in favor of more systematic and reproducible experiments. Figures like Robert Boyle, often called the father of modern chemistry, began to move alchemy away from its mystical and spiritual roots. Boyle's The Skeptical Chymist, 1661, denounced many of the traditional ideas of alchemists and laid the foundation for modern chemistry, focusing on the properties and reactions of elements rather than their metaphysical significance. Even Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists in history, spent years researching alchemy. Though his contributions to physics and mathematics overshadowed his alchemical work, his experiments with the philosopher's stone reflected his belief that alchemy and science were not so different after all. Though alchemy as a science has long since been replaced by modern chemistry, its influence lingers. Alchemical techniques like distillation, filtration, and crystallization are still used by chemists today. And the symbolic idea of transformation, the alchemist's quest to change lead into gold, remains a potent metaphor for personal growth and spiritual enlightenment. The alchemist's dream of unlocking the hidden potential in everything, whether material or spiritual, continues to inspire. From the writings of Carl Jung, who explored the psychological significance of alchemical symbolism, to modern-day artists and thinkers, alchemy still captures our imagination. Its legacy is not just in the laboratories, but in the very heart of human creativity and transformation. And so, alchemy's journey continues, its lessons echoing through time. The search for truth, the transformation of the soul, and the quest to understand the hidden forces of nature have shaped the world as we know it. Who knows? Perhaps the next great alchemist is already out there, ready to unlock the mysteries that remain. As we've seen on this journey, alchemy was never simply a quest for gold or a pursuit of physical transformation. It was a symbol of a deeper longing, a yearning to understand the mysteries of the universe, to bridge the material and the spiritual, and to unlock the hidden potential within both nature and the human soul. From the ancient priests of Egypt, who sought immortality through the philosopher's stone, to the mystical ideas of the Count of Saint Germain, whose very life became a legend, alchemists weren't just trying to transmute metals. They were searching for wisdom that transcended the physical world, exploring the very nature of existence itself. Even in the Renaissance, when science and mysticism converged, alchemists like Paracelsus were redefining what it meant to heal, to cure, and to understand the human body not just as a vessel, but as an interconnected part of a greater cosmic order. His alchemical ideas laid the foundation for modern medicine, showing us that the path to transformation, whether physical, spiritual, or scientific, often begins with asking the right questions. In time, alchemy gradually evolved into the rigorous science we now call chemistry. But the journey didn't end there. Today, we continue to build upon the alchemical discoveries, distillation, crystallization, and chemical reactions that were once viewed as part of mystical rites. The experimental methods of alchemists paved the way for the controlled, systematic processes we use in modern labs. And yet, the legacy of alchemy persists, not only in the laboratories of chemists and pharmacists, but in the very way we view transformation and discovery. Alchemists dreamed of turning lead into gold, and in a way, their vision was realized, not in the literal sense, but in the countless ways science and innovation have turned base elements into technologies, medicines, and solutions that have changed the world. Alchemical symbolism still resonates today, even in the fields of psychology and philosophy. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist, saw alchemy as a metaphor for the human process of individuation. the journey towards self-actualization and enlightenment. For Jung, the alchemist's quest for gold was a metaphor for the psychological transformation each of us undergoes in the pursuit of personal wholeness. In many ways, alchemy is still with us, alive not just in the pages of ancient books, but in the very pursuit of knowledge itself. Its legacy is woven into the fabric of human history, inspiring generations of thinkers, scientists, artists, and philosophers to question, to experiment, and to transform the world around them. The alchemist's dream, to uncover the hidden truths of nature and the universe, remains a dream that we still chase. Whether in the laboratory or the realms of the unknown, the spirit of alchemy pushes us forward, asking us not just to change the world, but to transform ourselves in the process. So, the next time you think of alchemy, remember, it's not just about gold or immortality, it's about transformation. And perhaps, in our own lives, we too are all alchemists in the making, searching for our own philosopher's stone. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the history of alchemy. If you enjoyed this exploration of mystery, science, and transformation, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Historic Code for more deep dives into the untold stories that have shaped our world. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep transforming.